So in this unit, in this particular section, 5C, graphing rational functions, we're going to focus on this function here, f of x is equal to 1 over x, and it's going to be one of our new parents. We've been graphing a lot of functions, and we've talked about how to make them move around the graph. So the first thing we want to do is we want to look at the parent and figure out what our parent points will be. Now I've already plugged this in. I put -3 in, and I've got these. I wanted to point out that if I plug a 1/2 in, 1 divided by 1/2 looks like this, change to multiplication of the reciprocal, and that is 2. So basically the reciprocal of -1/2 is going to be -2. This will be -3. This will be +3, and this will be +2. Now what we want to do is graph these points. We have the point -3, -1/3, so we're just going to have to kind of guess it right there. Then we have -2, -1/2, -1, -1, -1/2, -2, which is here, and -1/3 and -3 right here. Then going to the other side, we have 1/3, 3, we have 1/2, 2, we have 1, 1, and then we have 2, 1/2, and 3, 1/3. So what's going to happen if, say, I put in a -10? If I put in a -10, then I'm going to have a -1/10, and it's never going to go, it's never going to be above the axis. So if I put in a -100, then it's going to be a -100th. So this line is going to curve up, and it's never going to cross the x-axis. And as we go down, the same thing's going to happen. It's going to follow along, but never cross over. What happens if we do plug a 0 in? If I put a 0 in, then it's undefined. Nothing happens at 0. And then the same thing's going to be true on this side. It's going to curve. It's never going to go negative. No matter if I put in 1,000,000, it's still going to be 1/1,000,000th above the line. And so my graph has this look to it. These are called asymptotes. Let me see if I can do that in a different color. These are called asymptotes, and you put those in with dotted lines, and we'll use those when we graph later on. So the x and y asymptotes, x and y axes are called asymptotes, which are actually guidelines for the graph. They're shown with dotted lines like I did right there. They're intersections, so that's we want to pay attention because that's going to be important to us as we graph, is at 0, 0 in the parent function. So this is the parent, is at 0, 0. So for the domain, so remember the domain are all the values of x. So remember we started at the left, so it goes from -infinity. It goes continuously until we get to 0, and then at 0 there is no answer. And then it picks back up again just to the right of it and continues, and there's all x values. So for the domain, it's everything but 0. So I can plug in any number except 0 and get an answer. The range, so the y values, the same thing. When we go from the bottom, we have y values all the way up to 1/1,000,000th, -1/1,000,000th, and then it picks back up right there and then goes up all the way. So for the range, it's everything except y can't be, there will never be 0. There is a vertical asymptote, so if we describe that line right there, it's a vertical line, so it's going to be x is equal to 0. And the horizontal asymptote, which is a horizontal line, is going to be y is equal to 0. All right, and that pause that I just took, I put in the parent points, which are going to be important to know. So we always need to know the parent points. And again, just like in all of our other parents, we have the points 1, 1. Along with this, we're going to do 1/2, 2, 2, 1/2. We'll also have -1, -1, the -1/2, -2, and -2, -1/2. So I will pick back up with the transformations in the next video.